Season 3 is not going to be easy. Hello Whovians, welcome back to New Who HQ. Today I am ranking every episode from Season 3 of Modern Doctor Who, and this was so hard to rank. This took me a little while to probably sit down and think because there are so many good ones in this series, as I'm sure you know. Before we start, if you are new, please subscribe and give this video a like. And also I want to point out that I count two-parters as one. So Human Nature and The Family of Blood are one. The Sound of the Drums and Last of the Time Lords are one. Now the thing that gets a little bit, people aren't sure on is if Utopia is part of the last two to form a free special. I'm not. I'm counting Utopia as a single episode, but I do agree that some people say that it is part of a free part. I understand that because it introduces the Master, and it's, they're literally, it's exactly the same story, but I'm not. So let's start off from number 10, The Shakespeare Code. This one generally did just bore me a little bit, and I mean, Shakespeare bored me at school, so that might have something to do with it. I did a lot of Shakespeare at school. It's basically like learning a new language. I did Macbeth, I did Romeo and Juliet, all that. I didn't mind it. I didn't mind the films, but studying it was, this episode doesn't do a lot for me. It doesn't do it for me with the witches as well. It doesn't fit together as an episode, and not a lot goes on. It doesn't go, I don't remember a lot of it since the last time I watched it, which is a few weeks ago. So, to be honest with you, sorry, I'm not really liking this one. That's why it's right at the bottom. Number 9. The Lazarus Experiment. Now I watch a lot of Doctor Who YouTubers, and this one normally is at the bottom and is pretty hated for a number of reasons, and I actually quite like it, even though it's at number 9, so I can't like it that much. I don't know, in terms of like hate, out of the stupid hate, I hate episodes, this one is actually alright. I know the effects are not dated very well at all, but I quite like the performance of Mark Gatiss. I think he actually gives it pretty well. I think David Tennant and Martha are really good in this as well. I like the idea of the story, and yeah, I don't know, I actually quite like the story quite a lot, and if I had more guts I'll probably put it a bit higher on the list, but I know I'm going to get a lot of backlash for it, so let's keep it at number 9. Number 8, 42. Now I was tilting between this and The Lazarus Experiment, but no, I put it at number 8 because I love the idea of it. I love Martha as well, I think she's a great companion. I don't know, it's just meh. We're getting into that sort of meh ground now where it's great. It's okay, but it's not great, but it's not bad. It's just meh. Number 7, Daleks in Manhattan and Evolution of the Daleks. And this one has declined in my top episodes of Doctor Who. I probably would have put this in top 5 before I rewatched it and actually realised it's quite... Like, I'm comparing this to other other Dalek episodes that I've watched, and it doesn't string out for me. The guy with the, what I call spaghetti finger face features, whatever you want to call it, has also downgraded in my opinion, even though I've actually got a figurine of him, which isn't out today, which is a bit embarrassing, but I do have one of him. It just doesn't work for me, and I feel like I watch it more as like a story, and how the story pieces together. It's not as strong as I thought it was. But saying that, I love David Tennant in this. I generally love David Tennant. So yeah, it's okay. But Andrew Garfield is in this episode. I didn't even realise. I feel stupid and horrible. But it's still freaky with the pigs and going underground. I like that as well. I do like the fear. They sell the fear pretty well. I'm going to stop waffling and try and carry on with number 6, Gridlock. I really enjoyed the heck out of this. Who'd thought seeing basically people trapped in a traffic jam for 45 minutes would be exciting? It just is. We see Martha and the Doctor split up, and which means we get to see more of these new inventions of cars, and you get all sorts of people, meet a variety of people, and it's just great. I love that there's this beast at the bottom, and I love the eeriness. Nobody knows what's going on. Why is the traffic stopped? What is down there? Just the whole mystery behind it. I love it. I do like this episode. It's a good one. And the only reason it's not high is because there are other better, fantastic episodes in this list. We come up to number 5, and people will be quite surprised that I've put this as high as I have, but number 5, Smith and Jones. Now, first episodes for a new series are very, very important, and I actually really enjoyed. I remember watching it live, and I loved it. Like the hospital flying onto the moon and the Jadoom coming. Like, what don't you love about that? It's a great story. I love the villain, Lady Sucking Blood Out. It's original. It scares the living crap out of me still today. The idea that someone can stick something in your throat like a straw and suck your blood out. I think it's brilliant. Yeah. Positive episode, fantastic. We get introduced to Martha, I like her as well, you know, it's a good introduction. I think her character is portrayed very, very well, and yeah, I love it. Number 4, we're into the, you could technically say 3-parter, but Utopia, just on its own, number 4. I do like this episode. We get John Barrowman as the Master, who is very, very different, and we don't get him for very, very long, so I can't pick his out performance too well, but what we get from him I quite like. I quite like the difference between him and John Sim. That is pretty good to look back on. And yes, I quite like it. You know, everyone's going to Utopia. We're sort of at the end of the world. It's a really, I love them sort of original ideas. There's these sort of beasts that are, well, they're just humans with teeth that want to eat people. Yeah, I like that. I like the idea. It's pretty cool. You know, they're not silly or anything like that. They're pretty damn scary. And I just quite like the episode. It's pretty good. Number 3, Human Nature and the Family of Blood. Now, the reason this is so high up is it's a great story. I love it. I love the Doctor Who. I love David Tennant acting more as a human in this. But generally, the speech at the end would get number 3 spot. Like, if a speech can make me cry, send shivers down my spine, give me goosebumps, make me feel for the character, then it deserves a spot, just from saying a few words. That's exactly what happens at the end of the second part. The bit where the Doctor basically explodes their ship and he gives this speech of, he never raised his voice, the fury of the Time Lord. Then we know why. This Doctor who'd fought with gods and demons. I'm pretty impressed with myself that I remember that much from it. But you know what I mean. It's just, it's a beautiful speech. And I love it. It's brilliant. And the ending as well. It's such a lovely sort of send-off and nice little touch to make sure that we continue to remember them that passed. Fantastic episode. Number 2. It's the 2-parter. Sound of the Drums and Last of the Time Lords. Now, John Sim is definitely my favourite Master. I'm going to point that out there now. I love how in all 3 of his appearances throughout Doctor Who, he is so very, very different. I mean, very different between now and in Peter Capaldi. Very different. He's much more mad in this one, basically. And I love that. It's menacing. It scares the hell out of me. Even though I didn't think the music would work. The music at the end, here come the drums, here come the drums. That works really well. I don't know how. I can't explain how it does. I thought really when I first looked at it. Now I've watched it again, I'm like, that goes so well together. So yeah, I'm trying to think what else I can pick out. There is so much to pick out. Again, the cliffhanger of part 1, it's fantastic, where David Tennant becomes old and everyone's like, oh no, how are we going to do this? And showing that, again, the Doctor is the most important thing here, and they asked for help and they gave, they wanted the Doctor. It's great. It's a lovely ending. Master played out the part. Well done. Well done, Russell T Davies, whoever done that. Which leave us with number 1, and it had to be this one. It couldn't have been any other. Blink. This is simply, I could argue, the best ever episode of Doctor Who ever made to date. Doesn't include Classic Who because I haven't watched it, okay? New Who HQ, this is what I'm called, New Who HQ. I don't deal with Classic, that somebody else can deal with that. Blink is bloody amazing. I'm so sorry for swearing, but it's true. It's just so good. I don't know where to start with it, that it's so good. I think Sally Sparrow could be the Doctor. I think she's blimmin' amazing. I love that even though David Tennant isn't in this episode at all, his appearance is still memorable. And yet it's still a great episode all round. The angels, I don't know what to say. They're just so good. They're so scary. They're so menacing. Who thought a bit of stone could do that much damage? Blinking. Like, I was scared to blink. I had nightmares about the Weeping Angels. I wanted more from this story. Even though, I know it was only a one-off story. I wanted a whole series out of it. I loved it that much. I don't know what else I can say to show how much I love this episode, apart from saying that I just love this episode. it's one of the episodes that I actually can follow. I sometimes fall out with Doctor Who because it gets a bit time confusing because of time. They mess around with it so much, and they mess around with it a lot in this one, but I get it. You know, it's also really depressing knowing that people get zapped back in time and their whole lives are basically just nothing anymore. That's also a really scary thought. It's just it's so well written. It's fantastically written, and yeah, congratulations for getting a number one on my spots. Not easy. So there we go, guys. That is season 3 ranked. As I said, most of them are absolutely fantastic. Let me know if you agree and any little comments you want to make about season 3, and I will see you all for season 4 very soon. Thanks, guys.